Now, Wave 31 Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle with 31 Triple Doppler.
As expected, we started the day wet for the commute this morning. We anticipated there would be a break in many areas this afternoon. And then we also told you rain chances would ramp back up again heading into this evening. And tonight, we're still expecting that. For a lot of us, we'll be okay probably another couple hours, but with time after 9 o'clock, we're really going to start to bring in widespread rain once again. That is going to be with us as we take you through a large part of tonight. Still tracking numerous areas of wet weather through the morning hours on Saturday. You can see that around 9 o'clock in the morning, but as we head past the lunch hour, we're going to start to push the rain on out. We will be dry for the remainder of the weekend, but there is going to be a trade-off that we'll talk about in just a second. Officially, a flood watch is still in effect for all of the counties here in North Alabama and far southern Middle Tennessee until noon on Saturday. But rain amounts thus far have been manageable, so we've not had any warnings. And as we take you through the rest of tonight, if we see any problems with flooding, most likely that will be over parts of Sand Mountain. That's where we've had the most rainfall, anywhere from 1.5 inches to 2 inches, and that's where we could see an additional 1.5 inches to 2 inches of rain. This is looking at rainfall potential. You see that from Guntersville to Fort Payne. That's where the heavier totals will be found. For most of the rest of us, on top of what has already fallen, maybe another 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch before it all starts to wind down. So that should limit the overall flood potential. But just be aware over here, Marshall, maybe southern Jackson into DeKalb County, low-lying areas, poor drainage areas, places near those smaller streams and creeks we'll have to keep an eye on, but I don't expect we're going to have widespread flood problems overnight tonight, and it still looks like severe weather potential next to nothing. I won't say it's zero, but we're just not concerned that any strong thunderstorms are going to visit us here in the far northern part of the state. Again, we'll have the rain tomorrow in the morning, cloudy, drying into the afternoon, still mild 62. Enjoy that. January finally shows up by the second half of the weekend. Only 45 on Sunday, even with sunshine. Going to be pretty chilly out there. And looking into next week, looks like a colder pattern is going to take hold for us, probably for at least the next 7 to 10 days after we get past tomorrow. All right, here's a breakdown of 31 Triple Doppler currently. Again, a lot of us getting a lull in the wet weather, but it is starting to slowly fill back in from the south, even from what we had earlier in the newscast, starting to get a little bit wetter there in Franklin County. Still tracking some lighter rain, but steadier rain over into DeKalb County. And as we take you through the next few hours, future radar showing it will continue to get a little bit wetter. Mostly light to moderate rain initially, and then as we take you towards midnight and beyond, you're going to start to see these brighter colors. These will be your pockets of some heavier rain that will show up in some areas, but nothing that looks extreme. Tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., still seeing rain kind of widespread across the area, but there will be improvement as the morning wears on. By the time we hit 10 o'clock in the morning, the steadier, heavier stuff is out of here. There may still be a few lingering showers through midday, early afternoon on Saturday, but then after that, we're drying out for good for the remainder of the weekend. Here's a breakdown of your day planner for your Saturday. Again, those rain chances will be highest through mid-morning and then trailing off heading into the afternoon hours. Enjoy the warmth. Notice the breeze out of the northwest getting stronger late in the day. That will be with a cold front. We'll reach the 60s in advance of that, but starting to bring in that chillier air tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, and through the day on Sunday. These are likely highs sitting mostly into the low 60s, maybe as warm as it gets for at least the next 10 to 14 days. Here's that Wave 31 Storm Tracker, 10-day 36 waking up Sunday morning. Could be some scattered frost out there, 45 for your Sunday afternoon. Monday morning, that's a cold one, 27, and then only 47 in the afternoon. We briefly jump back into the 50s Tuesday, Wednesday. And then there's going to be another push of cold air coming in around the middle of next week. Not a lot of moisture with that, but perhaps enough. We pick up a few showers on Wednesday, and then as we head into Thursday morning, as temperatures drop to freezing, we might get a couple flurries. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't see a big winter storm set up for us, but the pattern later next week, heading into next weekend, and even the week after that, if we're going to see some snowflakes, this would be the setup that could produce it.
Okay, you heard it here, guys.
We'll keep an eye on it.
Yes, you will. Thank you so much, Jeff.